Hello everyone, Pallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. Hope you guys are having a great day today. This is episode 2 in my A through Z series where we're playing every character in the game, and I'm going to give you a brief history of the character over the, from what's happened over the course of the last year, since the last A through Z that we played. We have landed on Anub'arak today, and I honestly think he's in a fantastic spot right now. Now, I've done a few practice games getting ready for this video, and I will say those practice games haven't gone particularly well. But I'm optimistic that we can still get a win here today. Or am I? The world may never know. This is Pallytime from the future. Look at this beautiful man. Oh, look at all the hope in his eyes. He was so young and so brave. Towards the end of this video, something really bad happens, and I'm going to have to edit around that. So it's gonna end weird. Sorry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves in the Infernal Shrines today at level 1. I'm actually gonna switch it up. I've done 3 practice games for Anub'arak leading up to this video. I told you I wasn't gonna handpick these games. I didn't record those games at all, but I wanted to get into a rhythm with the character before I really talked about him and just kind of jog my memory on everything that I could think about with this character. And apparently we just played with this guy. Hi. I've been playing the Beetle build in all of those practice games. It didn't quite go well, so I'm gonna drastically change it up for my own sanity. This map is all about cleaving enemies down, and there's a pretty decent amount of regen globes on this map too, so we are gonna go for Regeneration Master. Now, that being said, Dampen Magic is one of the best spell shields in the whole game. The only ones that come even close, as far as I know, would be Stitch's new spell shield that he gets at level 1, and then Lunara's advanced spell shield that she gets a little bit later in her talent build. But, it's just a Medivh. I'm not that worried about Medivh. We should be fine. We should be okay. No, watch, Medivh's going to get highest hero damage, and he's going to completely slay all of us. And I guess Gazlow's turrets kind of count as spell damage, but that's not the point. The point is, I don't think we need it. So what I've been using as an alternative in its place, if we don't need the spell shield, is Assault Scarab, and I just don't think it's doing a good enough job for me. So we are going to go for Regen Master here, and I'm actually going to build into some auto-attack cleave just for the minions on the shrines. Greymane, hyper-aggressive character, able to do a lot of damage even in the early game, so he's going to be poking at us. He's going to be hitting kind of hard. Let's try not to let him win too hard, but to be totally honest, our sustain isn't really going to ramp up until about level 7. We're really not much of a solo laner in any capacity. I'm just up here because that's where the team needed me to be. And I've noticed lately that I'm starting to look at the game a little bit differently, and I've said it before, but I've never really strived really hard to achieve it. But dude, XP is the most important fucking thing you can possibly have in the early game. And I've noticed the matches that I lose, for the most part, I lose them because the team's overall effort towards getting XP, especially in the early game, is just really bad. So I'm trying to focus on that a bit more. Let's move in here and help support our team. We do have everyone present. We have a lot of crowd control on our team. And I suppose I'll talk about my abilities in the team comp right after this shrine, right after this isn't quite as contested. Gazlow's going to be able to do a ton of work here. We just lost our Dahaka because he was trying to move through characters rather than just going around them. But with the 2 supports, we should have enough sustain to push these guys off. Although what I'm saying and what appears to be actual reality is a little different. So I think I'm just going to go back to soaking. We're going to head down to the bottom lane. The enemy team's obviously going to get a little bit of XP when this Immortal pushes into the towers, so I want to make sure we can kind of counter that XP. And to help me get XP a little bit faster, what I did go for is the Locust Needles, just to help me cleave minion waves down. So I soaked up all that XP in the bottom. Now we're going to rotate back up to the middle and try to help our team defeat this Punisher that's going to be pushing us down. We did hop it over the wall, and we are on the correct side, which is very, very good. Looks as though Medivh might try to poke at us a little bit. He can, if he wanted to. You would actually be able to get away with that, no problem. But it looks like he's just trying to spy on us, like that creepy neighbor you have with the telescope in his window. And you're like, what does he even use it for? You can't see the stars. There's too many lights out. Well, he's fucking looking at you. That's what he's doing. Good Medivh shields might save this Gazlo for just a moment longer, but he will fall. And as you can see right now, there's just so much shit in the top lane. And being able to cleave this down, I think, is really useful. I think it's really useful. Who cares if it's not on the HoTs log's top-rated builds of all time? We're gonna cleave stuff down. It's gonna be fine. We do need to... Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Rotating is fine. There's nothing wrong with rotating, especially if you're in an organized team. We had 3 people top, no one soaking middle. And as I tried to leave top to go down to middle, everyone else followed me from top. So we essentially were just getting no XP whatsoever. We should be able to bully this Medivh just a little bit, enough to go in and get those regen globes, and then we can back up to relative safely. And we're just gonna keep spawning beetles and keep them pushing in. You'll notice I'm trying to use my W ability constantly. And my W ability just spawns a small shield around me. And we're using that shield. He's going to be able to teleport out of here. Oh, Medivh just pieced the fuck out! Medivh doesn't care about Gazlos. Confirmed. If he gets away. If he gets away, though. If he gets... Someone hit him. All you have to do is auto-attack him. Thank you. Anyway, I'm trying to use my shield constantly just to spawn beetles, and now that we're level 7, these beetles are going to be healing me. Now, they don't have their damage increased, and we're not periodically spawning these beetles, but they will be healing me. We have a player advantage as the shrine is spawning up top, and the team decided to all rotate down to middle as the objective was coming up. And this is the kind of stuff I just don't understand why it happens. This isn't me being salty at all. This isn't me being angry at my team. I just don't know why these transitions away from important things like XP or the shrine, I don't know why they happen, especially as the shrine is coming up. We're going to move it here. We're going to start to cleave this down and we'll be fine. So my Q ability is a straight line skill shot that will cause spikes to erupt from the ground. And these spikes will just travel in a straight line. You've probably seen the ability already. And if they hit a target, they will knock them up into the air and deal a small amount of damage. Our E ability is Burrow, and it's this thing right here that allows me to traverse a decent amount of an area, and then Erupt on the other side, crowd controlling anyone we happen to pass through. ETC is definitely overextended. We should be able to get this kill here. Nope, we don't have a lot of damage coming out at all. All right, let's just try to focus on getting these minions down then. We'll kind of sit on the outskirts here. Oh, good tongue on the enemy ETC. We are going to have to disengage with our burrow, but that's fine. We can move back here, grab the sippy cup, refill that health, and then move back in. And then keep in mind, we do have Regeneration Master this whole time as well. Does look as though the enemy team is going to be getting this objective, so we just need to move back behind the wall, behind the wall, behind the wall, behind the wall, behind the wall. Yeah, we did it, team! Yeah, we got behind the wall! And the Punisher's going to jump over. The enemy team's going to hit level 10, but I don't think it'll be a problem. Never mind, the wall's been broken down. Well, if ETC stayed and he wanted to move in with the mosh pit here, or if he comes back and wants to move in with the mosh pit, we need to be a little worried. And once again, we have no damage up here. Okay. Okay, this is looking a little dire. Let's try to save our Dahaka. Looks like we're going to die for it. Nope. No, he stasis to everybody. Where's the mosh, though? You going to hit him with the mosh? I don't think I can get out of here. That's fine. That's fine. So the Punisher was able to get that top keep. It's pushing into the tier 2, or top fort, pushing into the tier 2 keep now. I need a sip of water. But we should be able to handle this, no problem. I didn't see how Greymane got on the other side of the wall. He probably jumped over. But he was stuck, and that should have definitely been a kill. Now, level 10, we have gone for Locust Swarm. And this is a talent that a year ago, no one was picking at all. You picked Anub'arak because he had Cocoon. You picked Anub'arak because he could basically polymorph anyone in the game whenever he felt like it. I'm very much aware that the bird can see me, for the record. And it was one of those things where Cocoon was great, but that was really the only purpose that Anub'arak had. Now, that maybe sound weird, but it was like when Anub'arak was added to the game, he was one of the strongest things that the world's ever seen. And then after about a month of just complete dominance, like being the best warrior in the game, no contestation, he was nerfed, and they way over nerfed him. They made him really, really weak. And this caused him to kind of just be a niche pick that you would pick up for that cocoon to take someone out of the fight, like an Illidan or Lieutenant Morales or something. I don't know when Lieutenant Morales was added, but you get what I'm saying. And that was kind of all he did. Sure, he had great crowd control, but he was really, really squishy. He couldn't keep himself alive. I believe his shield was buffed. And there was a time in the game where Anub'arak just... Oh, this should be a kill here. There was a time in the game where Anub'arak just didn't fucking have enough sustain at all, and his beetles like didn't go after anything. They just would walk around. They would like almost ignore heroes sometimes just to walk into a minion lane and start to clear it. Now we did use our ultimate there. I don't think I explained my ultimate. The Locust Swarm, it's an AoE around me, and then the bugs that kind of spawn around me will cleave and heal me as well, which is really, really good. It's some fantastic sustain on a 100-second cooldown, so we're not going to have it here. Now, what we do have here is a numbers advantage, and I hope we use it well. Dahaka just now showing up. I'm not too sure where he was before, but that's okay. Now, we do need to separate from our team a little bit, getting ready for this mosh pit that is bound to happen. So I'm going to try to stay back away from that ETC. Oh, did he click on a portal? Did that ETC move in and click on a portal? What did I just see? I don't even know what I just saw. Well, I don't have a way to interrupt a mosh pit if he does go in for it now, but it looks like we are looking pretty good for getting this objective. At least we should. Or we'll all get put into stasis. That was actually a really good leyline seal from their Medivh. We only need 3 more. 3 more. Get him. This is Arcade Punisher. It's worth going in and taking a bit of damage to get the Arcade Punishers, the most powerful one. Good job, Raynor, going in with that Q. He is going to secure it. Nicely done. It looks like we may lose him on our Tyrande, but still, getting that Arcade Punisher is what we need right now. We did not want the enemy team pushing into us with that talent tier advantage. That would have definitely been bad. We are going to go for Burning Rage now. You'll notice that this build that I'm using is really focused around AoE damage, and Burning Rage is going to be no exception to that. While we are in an area, the Burning Rage will just kind of be ticking damage off from our body, and it should help us cleave the Infernal Shrine minions. It should help us cleave minion waves like this, and while we have our ultimate up, it's just even more AoE damage. So I think it should fit our playstyle pretty well. Now, again, a lot of people are using the Beetle build at level 1, and this was something that they were using back in the day too. Even when his beetles like wouldn't attack heroes, you go Assault Scarab level 1. Basically, any talent that has a beetle before level 10, you pick that up, and that causes you to spawn more beetles. Your beetles hit harder, and then your beetles will also heal you as well. This looks bad. Yeah, I don't know if this is worth fighting. If we get some damage follow-up, then it is, but it doesn't really look like we're positioned very well for this. Tyrande and Jim Raynor just now showing up. Never worth losing 2 lives for a mercenary camp, but at least we traded 1 as well. And if they continue to push in, we could trade for another. Some CC going out on their Ariel. We don't want to dive too deep, though. We don't want that Greymane jumping on us because he could do a lot of damage. So not a favorable trade, but I definitely understand why we pressured for the mercenary camp there. We should be able to heal back up no problem, although that's a lot of damage, so it looks like we may lose this building as well. We do have Sippy Cup, so I can kind of go back in and reinforce, but it's not like I'm a dominant force without my heroic ability. That heroic ability gives us a ton of AoE damage and a ton of sustain. So when we don't have that, we are just kind of, we need to pick our battles a little bit more. The objective is spawning once again in the top lane, and we need to hit level 16 before we fight. So unfortunately, the enemy team's going to have a bit of an advantage here. That death at that mercenary camp really set us back in the wrong direction and gave them a ton of XP and the advantage for this particular shrine. I believe this is going to be a Mortar Punisher, but hopefully we can deal with it. Now, Anub'arak does have a level 16 talent called Blood for Blood, which is it's a, what are they called when everyone has? Generic. It's a generic talent that a lot of people have access to. And Anub'arak used to run on comps that relied on that to burst down high health heroes, kind of like Muradin when he would engage with his avatar and would come in and deal a lot of damage. You could have 3 or 4 characters on your team with that Blood for Blood and then steal like 45% of his health immediately. It was like several thousand damage worth of a nuke. All right, we hit 16 and we're gonna have to go defend. Oh, it's a frozen Punisher, excuse me. We are gonna go have to defend versus this frozen Punisher, but that, again, that's fine. We just gave him the objective. We can kill it if we react quickly. We can kill it before it really does much damage to our structures at all. We are going to pick up Epicenter here at level 16, which increases the radius of our E ability when we burrow. I don't think dancing there was the right thing, but as long as we can bring it back, that'll be fine. This might be worth popping my ults over just to pressure them a little bit more, but it's not like they had a ton of follow-up. And again, yeah, we gave up an objective, but what did this objective actually get? It killed a tower. I think we're going to be okay without that one tower on the map, you know? A lot of people take things like that, or I won't say a lot of people, but there are definitely some people who will take something like the enemy team getting an objective over them as a real big blow to their morale. But the reality is, while they were away farming for that objective, we got 2 free levels of XP with no competition at all, completely safe levels of XP. And then we were able to defend that thing that consumed all of their time with like absolutely no effort required at all. Now we do have a pretty good rotation going on down here. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop my ult now and try to deal as much damage as I can. They're calling for a retreat though, and I don't really understand why. But okay, that was a good opportunity for a gank, and we kind of squandered it. Here comes the mosh pit, baby. Now we're using the Starfall, I see. There's the mosh. We'll interrupt with our Q. Never mind, he overextended for that, and he is going to be taken down. And we'll just come in here and try to deal as much damage to these guys as we can. Hello, Mediv. He should be able to portal out of here, at least I'm assuming so. But he is going to be taken down. So good, I was right, it was a good rotate. I don't know why we hesitated on it. I mean, we knew Greymane wasn't here the whole time. I'm going to move in for a body block here, and hopefully my team responds well. Can we get a tongue? Can we get it to Hakatung? Not who I would have grabbed, but that's okay. And we'll just go ahead and CC with our Q ability there as well. Very nice pickup from the friendly team. Good job, guys. That's what we needed. That's what we needed to come back. And now we can move in here, siege this down, go back, get full health, clean up middle lane before this objective pops up, and then have a really good shot of securing this objective while the enemy team is still respawning. Ariel's up in the top lane dealing with that mercenary camp. The right thing to do. They were trying to get more pressure out on the map, and we dealt with it quite well. And because we have Burning Rage and the Locust Needles at level 4, we're going to be able to cleave these guys down for a lot of damage. And all of a sudden, we are now ahead in XP. And the enemy team, that's a hard screen freeze.